up, chat? It's the second week of 2025. Updates on Final Fantasy VII. Spoilers! Spoilers for Final Fantasy VII. The plot has started fucking plotting. Eris died. I was gagged. Cloud was an experiment? What the fuck? Anyway, the albums I listened to this week. January 8th, I listened to Preacher's Daughter by Ethel Cain. That album is very good. I somehow know, like, the lore behind it, and I just never listened to it. Came out with her new album, and I was like, I'll listen to the other one first. And some of those lyrics got you right there. I didn't do much analysis on it. I just kind of listened to it, liked the songs, didn't really think about it, but it was very good, and I would listen to it again. January 9th, I listened to Perverts by Ethel Cain. If you didn't like that album, the creativity doesn't flow within you. Let me introduce you to the beautiful thing that is performance art. You can make an album, and that album does not fit the stereotypical outline of an album. Get into performance art. It never fits in one tiny little box, like most art. Crazy. It kills me. It kills me when people who don't understand art back it up. You don't have to understand art to enjoy art, but it kills me when people who don't understand art think they have a right to critique the art. That's what I'll say. January 10th, this week I was not fucking with the French. So my hour of French was listening to a French album, which was Euphories by Video Club. It's not the kind of music I enjoy. Some of the songs were good. I don't exactly remember much of it, besides the fact that it was French. January 11th, I listened to So Much for Stardust. It was a good album. My favorite song is 10 Years. Thank you. Oh my god! January 12th, I listened to, I don't even remember the fucking album's name, but whatever the most previous album released by Water Parks. I wanted to lobotomize myself. I wanted to perform open brain surgery on myself, find the cortex that allows me to hear, and fuck it up really badly. So I went to look Water Parks up on Spotify, and they were already muted. January 13th was much better, though. I listened to Chromakopia. Oh my god! Oh my god! Chromakopia was so good. I liked every song. Chromakopia. Never listened to Tyler, the Creator, before. It was great. It was great. I have fallen victim to the sticky hive. I have. That song... It does something up here. Let me just listen to the album, and it's incredible. And January 14th, there's a band called Foxy Shazam. Foxy Shazam. Foxy Shazam. The song that got me into them is called Teenage Demon Baby. And the lead singer sounds like Freddie Mercury. They're good. Cool? Cool. My movies. Guys, the first movie of this week was not what I was expecting it to be. It's called Close. The friendship between two boys is questioned when they appear really close to each other. So I'm like, oh, cute. It's gonna be a nice coming of age queer story. Awesome. Great. And it's in French. Let me just watch it. It's these two like 14-year-old boys. They're starting at a new school. They're best friends. They sleep in each other's beds, and they have sleepovers all the time, and they ride their bikes to school together. They play like this game where they pretend they're defending a castle in this like abandoned house, and they like lean on each other's shoulders and stuff. And everyone starts being like, what, are you gay? Are you two gay for each other? And then someone calls one of them the F slur, and he just kind of brushes it off. There's two of them. There's Remy and there's Leo. Leo starts distancing himself from Remy because he's like, I know why all of these people are suddenly saying we're gay. But I don't know how to communicate that to you, Remy, because I'm 14 and so are you. Leo keeps like staying over at Remy's house, but he stops sleeping in bed with him, you know? And Remy's like, what the fuck is going on? And then Leo starts distancing himself from Remy at school, and then Remy gets his feelings hurt. Then Remy is starting to realize the same thing. Remy's also like, everyone's doing this because they think we're gay for each other. And honestly, I think Remy starts having a gay crisis because he starts beating up Leo and Leo just lets it happen. And there's a school trip. Remy was supposed to go on the school trip and he doesn't show up. They come back from the school trip and the teachers are like, everyone get off the bus. And Leo's mom gets on the bus. It was so sad. It was so sad. If you're gonna watch a movie and you expect it to be a queer coming of age story and it turns out to be the saddest fucking shit you've ever seen. Yes, Remy killed himself and they say his mom found him. And it's, oh my God. And Leo and the audience know that it's because Leo stopped talking to him. And it sucks because you can't even, oh my God. It sucks because you can't, it's like, yes, it was your fault, Leo, but you can't put that burden on a 14-year-old's shoulders. Like, at the end of the day, if someone kills himself, it is their decision to do that. Can you acknowledge that you might have had some impact on that decision? Yeah. And that is what Leo does for the rest of the movie. He doesn't let himself grieve. He just feels so guilty and he can't tell anyone because of how guilty he feels. And eventually he tells Remy's mom. He literally says, it's my fault. I distanced myself from him. And she's like, get out of my car. And she runs after him. And it's just, anyway, being a teenager sucks. Like, even if you are the teenager doing the bullying, even you're confused. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's just like, oh my God, life is so nuanced. Life is so nuanced, you guys. That movie's fucking sad. It was good though. It was really good. I didn't cry. But I felt it. I felt it coming. I feel it coming right now, but that's for different reasons. January 9th, I watched Anyone But You because that last movie, I was like, I need something happy and fun. It was fun. It was cute. Something special. I don't really care for, God, first the Parksies are gonna come after me, and now whatever Glenn Powell's fans are gonna kill me. I don't really care about Glenn Powell. Sorry. He was pretty good. In fact, he surprised me. Sydney Sweeney disappointed me. Listen, I am not a Sydney Sweeney hater. I'm just kind of indifferent towards her. I thought she was good in Euphoria, so I was expecting her to be good in this. Kind of just, it was like the whole time she kind of just talked like this, and I don't know why. Because Homegirl has some good facial expressions, which is important to me. But I don't know what she was doing with her voice. I'm not hating. This is just my opinion, okay? I'm not trying to cancel Sydney Sweeney. The movie was cute though. Would I watch it again? I don't think so. January 10th, I watched Elemental. Whoever was hating on that movie, what's your problem? That movie was cute. Find yourself a Wade Ripple. Wade Ripple would go to the ends of the earth for Ember. God damn it. And I love Ember. She's so me. It's a cute fucking movie. Get over yourself. If you can't fucking suck it up and enjoy a goddamn animated movie, fuck you. You have no joy and whimsy in your heart. Also, some of the best movies you'll ever see are animated, okay? Go watch How to Train Your Dragon 3 and tell me that's not the best fucking movie you've ever seen. Fuck you. On the 11th, bitch, I watched Juror Number 2. Intriguing movie. I was on the edge of my seat. And you kind of figure out what's going on pretty soon into the movie. Guy gets picked for jury duty on a domestic violence murder charge. Basically, everyone's like, I saw this couple fight at this bar, and then the next day she was found dead in a ditch. As Nicholas Hoult is like hearing all of this, long fucking story short, he ends up realizing that he's the reason this girl is dead. He hit her with his car. He thought she was a deer. He even got out of his car and checked to see if anyone was there, and he didn't see anything. Also, they're like, the jury, this will be a 2-hour decision. But then Nicholas Hoult himself is like, but wait, what if he's not guilty? And they're like, well, then who is guilty if it's not him? And he's like, I don't know. That's not up for us to decide. We just need to decide if he is guilty or not. I still haven't spoiled the whole thing because that's not even the ending. It was entertaining. The 12th, God, the fucking 12th. The 12th was just a fucking bust, bro. I watched Trap. Yet another movie labeled as a thriller. That was not a thriller. M. Night Shyamalan, I'm never gonna like you. I tried. I was really interested in this movie. The story of the movie, it was a good concept. And you would not know where this movie ends up based on the trailers. I'll give you that. The acting was bad. It's not good. You can have a god-awful movie. The movie can be shit. The plot can suck. But if the acting is there, it has a chance with me personally. No, it was bad. It was bad. Don't watch that movie. On the 13th, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't even know what to say. Let's just say I didn't enjoy it. But I can acknowledge why it won an Oscar. Because, this is an example. I didn't like the movie, but the acting was great. It was, I think I'd have to watch it again. But also, I didn't know it was an action movie. I don't care how good the plot line or the message is. I don't fucking like an action movie. Action movies bore the shit out of me. I guess that's what shocked me. I was like, I'm obviously gonna like this movie. Everybody else liked this movie. And it does seem like a movie I would like. But it's the fact that it's a fucking action movie. Half the movie you're physically fighting. Yawn. And yesterday, the 14th, I kind of cheated. What I watched was something I have seen before. But I swear to God, I completely forgot every second of it. And that is Dan and Phil's 2018 World Tour Interactive Introverts. Bitch! The people on Dan and Phil Twitter, they're like, did we all go through a collective amnesia after this? Answer, yes, because I don't remember a fucking thing. So I rewatched it, and they're so silly. Phil Lester had me giggling and kicking my feet. I'm a Danny down. And I was not looking at Dan Howell the entire time. They're so weird. They're fucking odd. You ever think about that? Think about how strange and weird they are. I do. I really didn't remember a lick of it, though. I'm not going to tell you to go watch that. If you're not a Dan and Phil fan, it won't make sense to you. Anyway, my books. I read 3 books this week. I read a fan fiction. This fan fiction was 106,000 words. Therefore, I'm counting it as a book. Thank you. Funny enough, it was a fan fiction about alternate realities and dreams. I'm gonna be so honest. It was a Dan and Phil fan fiction. Oh, I used to not confess that. We're growing in 2025. Let me give you the rundown, girl. Dan and Phil do the dog calendar in this room with all these mirrors. They get into a fight about if they're gonna announce it to the world. But Dan's like, in the closet and shy, and he doesn't want to tell anybody, and Phil's like, Dan, your commitment issues are so and Dan's like, I know, I wish everything were different, okay?
Phil starts having all these dreams, and it's all these different realities. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? And at first, he can't remember any of them. But then, as he's becoming more and more conscious of it, he starts writing things down so he can remember. He ends up remembering a lot. Dan is always there. Phil starts figuring it out. Phil starts telling Dan. Dan's like, I'm having feel interesting too. Because he can't remember, so he doesn't know that he's having these dreams in any of the realities. But Phil in the real world and Dan in the real world are like talking about it. And Phil develops an attachment to all of the realities. And he's telling Dan about it, and Dan's like, it feels like you're going to cheat on me with me. Basically, Phil figures out how to stop the dreams. But at this point, he doesn't really want to stop the dreams. But he has a talk with real Dan, and he's like, you're my favorite Dan. I never want to get rid of you. And Dan's like, okay, but if you wanted to keep one, you could. Because the whole reason Phil wants to do it is because it's like managing all these lives is so confusing and complicated. And then he goes to the place, he smashes the mirrors because he finds out that's what you're supposed to do. And real Dan's like, how was it? And he's like, I smashed all of them. And he's like, Dan's like, all of them? And Phil goes, all of them. And then Phil goes to sleep and wakes up in another one. Ah, that pissed me off, you liar! You're a fucking liar! Oh, that made me so upset. I was like, no way, you just lied to him. And it sucks because Dan can't remember. Bitch, don't piss me off. It was good though.
Another book I read, Butcher and Blackbird, bitch. That shit was fire. Shit was fire. It's two serial killers who kill serial killers. They fall in love with each other. That's it. It's beautiful. The final book, really bring the mood down here. I finished Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I really wanted to like that book. And unfortunately, I think the translation from Japanese to English is, it loses some of its rhythm as a poetic book. It's not a poetry book, but it's like, this is meant to be poetic. I'm sure if I knew Japanese and I read it in Japanese, it would be beautiful. But it was kind of just hard to get through. There was a bunch of in-between stuff that I didn't think was necessary. Like the overarching plot of the stories in the book, I did like those. Maybe one day I'll know Japanese and I'll read it again. It was upsetting. I really wanted to like it. That's all for this week, people! This video was just as long as the last one, and I thought it was going to be shorter. This week was less fun. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, see you next week. Bye-bye.